Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on just one single fascinating day, August 1st, 2025.
Yep, it was quite a day, packed with major global events.
Absolutely. And we've got a stack of sources here, everything from, leading financial news outlets to cutting-edge scientific journals, even cultural reports.
And our goal for this deep dive really is to cut through all that noise,
Right.
extract those crucial insights, and sort of connect the dots for you. We want you to understand not just what happened,
But the why?
exactly, why it matters, and maybe what ripple effects you might still be seeing today,
Think of it as your shortcut to being really well informed.
complete with some surprising facts and hopefully plenty of context.
Lots of aha moments, we hope.
Yeah.
So diving into August 1st, what immediately jumped out, what felt central?
Well, the economic headlines were certainly hard to ignore.
Yeah.
It felt like the global economy was sort of bracing itself for
Yeah.
something new, a fresh wave of uncertainty.
You're right. August 1st really kicked off with some significant economic shifts, and a lot of it seemed influenced by new policy moves from the U.S. administration. First up, that sweeping new wave of U.S. tariffs. President Trump signed an executive order dramatically expanding them, targeted, 66 to 69 countries?
Something like that, yeah. Huge scope. And the rates, some were quite high.
Ranged from 10% up to a whopping 41% effective August 7th.
Though some countries did get reductions, right, after talks.
Yeah, interestingly, Mexico, Cambodia saw reduced rates, but Canada got hit with a pretty punitive 35% rate.
Ouch. And what's revealing here isn't just, the market's initial reaction,
The shudder, yeah.
but how quickly those tariffs exposed the intricate vulnerabilities, global supply chains.
Definitely. The Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ, they all dropped significantly.
Around 1.2% to 2.2%, I believe.
Which isn't just a simple dip, is it?
No. It signaled real fears of a global economic slowdown, a pushback against that idea of frictionless globalization.
And businesses weren't happy.
No, they protested the unpredictability, and affected governments, well, they condemned the move pretty swiftly, showed how interconnected everything is.
And speaking of those market jitters, the tariffs landed just as an unexpectedly weak U.S. jobs report came out.
Oh, that timing. Yeah.
It felt like a real double punch.
It absolutely did. The Labor Department reported, only 73,000 non-farm payroll additions for July?
Just 73,000?
Yeah.
Far below the expected 100K.
And the revisions to prior months? That was concerning, too.
Huge downward revisions for May and June, subtracting around 258,000 jobs collectively, and the unemployment rate ticked up to 4.2%.
That's a massive shortfall.
So what did that mean for the broader economic outlook, especially when jobs have been the bedrock of recovery?
Precisely. That report immediately set off alarm bells. Because those strong employment figures, they'd been the justification for the Fed holding off on rate cuts.
Right.
So with this new data, the markets just plunged further. S&P 500 down about 101 points, Dow 542, NASDAQ 472, big numbers. And you saw Treasury yields fall sharply. Investors suddenly started pricing in a Fed rate cut, maybe as soon as September.
And the VIX, the fear gauge,
Spiked, jumped above 20. That signals a big uptick in anxiety, expectations of more volatility, a real loss of confidence, you could say.
And adding to all this economic turbulence, there were some pretty notable personnel changes happening, too.
Indeed, within key U.S. federal agencies.
Yeah, President Trump dismissed the Bureau of Labor Statistics Commissioner, Erica McDan, for alleged data manipulation.
And that was followed quickly by the resignation of Fed Governor Adriana Kugler.
So these weren't just routine changes.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Sparked widespread concern among economists and market watchers. The deeper implication here really is about eroding confidence.
Confidence in the data.
Confidence in the integrity of U.S. money and labor data. When the independence of agencies like the DLS, like the Fed, is seen as undermined,
It makes things harder.
it fundamentally complicates monetary policy. It makes it harder for everyone, businesses, investors, to trust the economic signals they rely on.
Yet, amid all this turmoil, August 1st also brought news of a new trade deal. A positive one this time.
Yeah, with the European Union, it's a fascinating juxtaposition, isn't it?
It really is. While levying massive tariffs elsewhere.
President Trump secures this new agreement with the EU, focused on reducing specific tariffs, boosting access for U.S. tech firms.
And getting commitments from European car makers for U.S. manufacturing.
That's right. And the insight here, I think, is the complex, sometimes contradictory nature of trade policy.
How so?
Well, some welcomed it. saw it as a boost for growth, but critics immediately worried about the trade-offs.
Like environmental standards, digital privacy.
Exactly. That compromises might come at the expense of those standards. It highlights that delicate balancing act driven by different priorities.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. From economics to international relations. Several conflicts were dominating headlines on August 1st. Ukraine, unfortunately, remained a major focus.
Absolutely. A really tragic day there. We saw President Zelensky call for a direct summit with Putin.
And that was after
After a devastating missile strike on Kiev. Killed at least 31 people, including 5 children, over 150 injured. Just awful.
Terrible. And Putin's response?
He reaffirmed his objectives were unchanged, claimed gains in Chasiv Yar. Meanwhile, Germany delivered more Patriot missile systems. The military support continues.
It's such a brutal reminder of the human cost. How does an event like that strike impact the already fraught prospects for diplomacy?
It just intensifies the debate, really.
It makes it harder.
It complicates everything. Some voices internationally say talks are more necessary now to stop escalation.
But others worry.
Others strongly fear that engaging with Russia right now would just legitimize the aggression. So the UN Security Council was preparing for emergency talks. NATO allies were urging more support for Ukraine. It really highlighted those deep divisions in how the world is approaching this.
And in a related development concerning Russia, the U.S. made a significant military move that day, too.
Indeed. President Trump ordered the repositioning of 2 U.S. nuclear submarines.
Why? What prompted that?
It was framed as a direct response to grave threats from a senior Russian official.
And the international reaction.
Very mixed, as you'd expect. U.S. allies mostly expressed relief, saw it as America showing unwavering commitment.
And Russia?
Predictably condemned it, called it antagonistic. Defense analysts warned about further militarization, potential escalation.
But some diplomats called for dialogue.
Yes, some advocated for renewed arms control talks. But overall, it signaled a dangerous new level of brinkmanship, moving beyond just words to actual military posturing.
Okay, moving away from Eastern Europe, the critical humanitarian crisis in Gaza. That continued to deepen, didn't it? Painting a very grim picture.
It's a truly dire situation. Palestinian officials reported at least 2 more starvation deaths.
Starvation deaths.
And, tragically, 17 people killed in crowds near aid distribution points, just desperate for help.
Did aid get through? Was anyone visiting?
U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Ambassador Mike Huckabee visited a U.S. Israeli-backed aid site. But UN and NGO reports kept highlighting significant barriers to delivery.
So the aid wasn't flowing freely?
Not effectively. And the profound insight here is the UN agencies condemning this, calling the starvation a man-made crisis.
Man-made. Strong words.
Urgently calling for immediate relief corridors. Global media amplified these powerful images of suffering.
And donor nations.
Started conditioning future support on guaranteed access for aid. It's fueling growing public protests, too, inside Israel and globally.
Focusing on civilian suffering.
Yes, and increasingly labeling the blockade itself as a tool of starvation.
And even within Israel, there was internal dissent bubbling over, particularly around draft resistance.
Yeah, this is a powerful illustration of those moral dilemmas people face in conflict.
What happened?
2 Israeli teenagers, Ayana Gersman and Yuval Pelik, were sentenced 30 days and 20 days in military prison.
For what?
For refusing to enlist, as a protest against the Gaza war.
Wow. And there were protests supporting them?
Yes. Anti-war Israelis protested outside recruitment centers. Their sentences sparked both condemnation, from rights groups, and admiration from peace activists.
So it amplified internal division.
Absolutely. Divisions about the conflict's conduct, its morality.
Yeah.
It really brings that tension between national security and individual conscience into sharp focus.
Okay, finally on the diplomatic front, for August 1st, NATO allies met in The Hague. A significant meeting.
Very significant. A landmark meeting, really, reflecting NATO's solidified response to Russia's aggression.
What was decided? All
All 31 member states agreed to commit more to defense spending. Annually allocate at least 3.5% of GDP to core defense.
3.5%? That's a lot.
It is. And up to another 1.5% for resilience and infrastructure by 2035.
Huge commitment. Security must have been tight.
Immense. 27,000 police involved.
So this decision was welcomed.
Broadly welcomed in European capitals as a crucial roadmap for collective security. But critics immediately raised concerns about the economic strain. Nations grappling with other domestic needs. It's a clear sign of reinforcement and unity, definitely, but one with significant economic implications.
Okay, let's shift gears again To the incredible world of science and technology. August 1st delivered some truly groundbreaking news, stuff that really captured global attention.
It certainly did. Let's start with space.
Yeah.
The NASA SpaceX Crew 11 launch.
Right, to the International Space Station, diverse crew too, U.S., Japanese, Russian astronauts.
It got rescheduled to August 1st because of weather, but what made this one really stand out?
The Netflix broadcast.
Exactly. First NASA SpaceX mission broadcast on Netflix.
So it's not just about spaceflight anymore.
Well, it is, but it's also a fascinating example of how space agencies are using popular media, engaging the public, democratizing access to that wonder of space, blending science with cultural outreach on a huge scale.
Interesting. Okay, back down to Earth. We also got a crucial update on the monarch butterfly die-off in California. Devastating news there.
This was a really significant finding. Researchers basically determined that pesticide exposure was the primary factor in that record die-off in 2024.
Primary, not habitat loss or climate change.
Well, those likely play a role. But this study pinpointed pesticides. It contradicted earlier assumptions that those other factors were solely responsible.
So what's the insight there?
It directly challenges conventional agricultural practices, right? Environmentalists are now urgently calling for tighter pesticide regulations.
Sparking legislative discussions.
Already happening. And broader questions about chemical use in farming nationwide. It highlights that critical, often tense intersection of food production and ecological health.
Okay, from butterflies to fundamental physics. MIT physicists achieved something. Well, truly remarkable, potentially settling a century-old quantum debate.
This is monumental, seriously. For physicists, for philosophers.
What did they do?
They successfully recreated the classic double-slit experiment, not just with photons, but with individual atoms too.
And the result?
Their findings directly show that Einstein's prediction about wave-particle duality, the idea that reality is sort of fixed before you measure it, was incorrect.
So it confirms quantum mechanics.
Unequivocally. Confirms its more counterintuitive claims about how measurement actually influences reality.
Wow. What are the implications?
Huge. Expected to profoundly influence quantum computing research, fundamental physics, for years. It prompts totally new discussions about reality itself, the limits of our perception.
Mind-bending stuff. And speaking of future tech, AI made a big leap in battery materials.
Yeah, another critical step in that ongoing energy transition.
What did the AI find?
An international research team used AI analysis, identified 5 entirely new porous materials, highly suited for energy storage.
Better than lithium-ion.
Potentially. And critically, using abundant elements like magnesium.
So the long-term implication
is the potential to move beyond lithium-ion, to transform battery production, consumer electronics, renewable energy storage.
It's big potential.
Huge. Though, of course, commercialization, scaling up, those challenges remain. But the AI discovery really accelerates that path towards more sustainable energy.
But not all the tech news was positive on August 1st. Tesla faced a massive payout in a lawsuit.
That's right. A U.S. court ordered Tesla to pay $243 million in damages.
Related to what?
A fatal accident linked to its autopilot system.
$243 million. That's significant.
Very. And the verdict immediately reignited that public debate about liability, regulation, self-driving vehicles.
How so?
Road safety advocates saw it as a crucial warning to developers. Tesla, naturally, defended its technology, but it underscores those really profound questions as automation advances so quickly.
Like balancing innovation and safety.
Exactly. And who's responsible when things go wrong? Big questions.
And finally, on the tech front, a major cyber attack caused chaos.
Yeah, ripples across the globe, crippling shipping and logistics networks.
What kind of attack?
A sophisticated cyber attack. Disrupted major shipping lines, ports, warehouses across North America, Europe, Asia.
Do we know who's behind it?
Traced to a ransomware group, believed to operate out of Eastern Europe.
And the impact?
Massive shipping backlogs, cargo delays, significant economic losses, public frustration. It was a stark reminder.
Of digital vulnerability.
Exactly. The profound digital vulnerability of our interconnected global economy. It prompted urgent calls for renewed investment in network protection, government action on supply chain fragility.
Oh, beyond those big headlines, economy, conflict, tech, August 1st also gave us these intriguing glimpses into culture, public health, even local celebrations, showing that diverse tapestry of daily life.
Indeed. Like in Los Angeles, the city council officially designated August 1st, 2025 as Kaesong Day.
Kaesong Day, recognizing the Korean pop music festival.
Yeah, the world's largest one, recognizing its huge impact on LA's culture, tourism, economy.
What does that tell us?
It really highlights the undeniable growing influence of Asian popular culture, particularly K-pop, in reshaping America's creative industries, a real testament to the Hallyu phenomenon of the Korean wave and its economic and cultural reach.
Interesting. On a much more somber note, though, Europe was still battling that deadly heat wave.
A truly tragic situation unfolding. The death tolls surpassed 1,800 confirmed deaths by August 1st. Hospitals severely strained, rolling blackouts implemented, and the fatalities were concentrated in vulnerable populations.
Which underscores the unequal impact.
Absolutely. And this catastrophe immediately reignited intense political debates about climate change mitigation adaptation strategies across Europe.
Scientists warning this could be the new norm.
Exactly. Stark warnings, emphasizing the urgent need for climate action and much stronger public health protections.
And closer to home, here in the U.S., wildfires near Los Angeles were adding to massive global disaster losses that day.
Yeah, those fires had already destroyed thousands of homes, forced mass evacuations, and they were contributing to this staggering global figure. Over $131 billion in economic losses worldwide for 2025 just from natural disasters.
$131 billion halfway through the year.
It underscores that critical question about societal resilience, preparedness, especially as these extreme weather events become more frequent, more intense.
Well, so calls for more investment.
Urgent calls for fire prevention, better disaster response, climate adaptation strategies, especially as insurance costs are just skyrocketing in high-risk areas.
Okay, shifting to personal health news. Pop star Justin Timberlake made a revelation.
Yes, on August 1st, Justin Timberlake revealed he's been battling Lyme disease.
Why is that significant?
Well, public disclosures like this from high-profile figures can be incredibly important for awareness.
Raising the profile of the illness.
Exactly. Health organizations praised it. Lyme advocacy groups reported an immediate uptick in calls, requests for information, shows that powerful ripple effects celebrity influence can have on public health conversations.
And then, perhaps the most unexpected viral sensation of the day, collectible dolls. Labubus.
Yeah. It's fascinating how these cultural phenomena just emerge, right?
So Labubus dolls went global.
Became a global viral sensation by August 1st. Traded heavily on social platforms, becoming these surprising symbols of youth, identity, social capital.
Does it remind you of other crazes?
Absolutely. It echoes previous collectible trends, highlights both the huge economic opportunities and the inherent volatility in these cultural movements.
And sparks debate.
For sure. About the commodification of childhood aesthetics versus its role as a creative outlet, a community builder for a generation. Interesting stuff.
Also on August 1st, a significant day for the state of Colorado.
That's right, celebrating its 346th statehood anniversary.
More than just fireworks and history lessons.
Oh yeah, it was marked by public festivities, sure, but also intense political debates.
About what?
About rapid economic development, its growing influence in national politics, especially on climate policy, looking ahead to the 2026 midterms.
So it's a snapshot of state-level issues.
Exactly. How specific states are evolving within the national conversation, grappling with challenges like affordable housing, wildfire risks, while also celebrating achievements in civic life.
And finally, we saw the family of Virginia Giuffre continuing their push regarding the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Yes, they made a renewed demand on August 1st for the release of court files connected to the case.
Still pushing back against sealed documents?
Correct. Their motivation seemed clear. Public accountability, closure.
And they had support?
Broad support from legal experts, victims' advocates. It renewed scrutiny on the justice system's handling of abuse cases, highlighted that ongoing tension between public interest and privacy claims in these high-profile situations.
And just to wrap up our societal pulse check for the day, August 1st marked the start of National Wellness Month.
It did. And it actually sparked a pretty visible shift, at least in corporate approaches.
How so?
Major U.S. employers held wellness fairs, launched new fitness programs, adopted new policies specifically aimed at tackling burnout, chronic illness.
So a growing recognition of workplace stress.
Definitely. A recognition that stress, anxiety, depression are serious threats to long-term productivity, workforce health.
A positive shift.
It seems like a tangible sign of a cultural shift in workplaces. Though, some skeptics argue more fundamental changes are needed to address health inequalities. Still a noticeable trend.
Well, what an incredibly dense, fascinating deep dive into just one day's news. August 1st, 2025.
It really was.
From geopolitical shifts and economic shocks to scientific breakthroughs, cultural phenomena, it truly offered this window into the complex tapestry of our world.
And as we've seen, the ripple effects are everywhere, aren't they? A single policy decision can echo through global markets.
While a scientific discovery can hint at a radical energy future that affects us all,
Yeah, each piece of news, no matter how small or niche it seems at first, it really connects to a larger unfolding narrative.
it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In a world where even just one day brings such a varied mix, progress, conflict, societal change, how do you? How do you filter through that sheer volume of information to truly grasp the interconnected forces shaping your daily life, shaping the world around you?
That's the challenge.
It is, and maybe the adventure too. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep making those crucial connections.